Hello and welcome to Bedspreads and Pocketbooks. My name is Alfreda Ellington. I will be your host. Thank you for joining us in Bedspreads and Pocketbooks. This is where I dump my pocketbook into your lap. I'm going to take it, I'm going to shake it all out. We're going to go through everything, like get rid of that, add some more of that. Let's talk some more about that. We need more details. Whatever it is, we're going to talk about it. The pocketbook, to me, is my brain. That's where I'm going to just dump things out on you guys, and we're going to talk about trending topics. We're going to talk about marriage. We're going to talk about relationships. We're going to talk about things that are happening around just our United States and could possibly around the world. It doesn't matter. It's just different topics. So I just want to share these things with you. So buckle up, enjoy the ride. We're about to have a good time. Be prepared to laugh. Be prepared to learn some things and just have a good time. All right. So the first thing coming up is what y'all doing. The first segment is what are y'all doing? So I want to show off. I told you this is my favorite season, y'all. So I like to show off my little Christmas shirts. So I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me position myself. It says resting Grinch face. Resting Grinch face. Now, mind you, I'm not a Grinch. But I do enjoy the Grinch stuff. And I have on Christmas earrings. I have on Christmas light earrings. They used to flash, but they don't flash anymore. But I still sport them when I have my Christmas tops on. I love the holidays. So I like the Grinch. I like all of it because eventually the Grinch finds his heart. Yes. He finds his heart, and then he is eventually learned to love the holidays, love Christmas. So I like it. I like his story. I like Cindy Lou Who. I like the Grinch. I like all of it. So therefore, that's my first item that's coming up on what y'all doing. That's what I'm doing, is wearing these Christmas shirts. The second thing is I just want to share with you that I did something cool this weekend. Me and my husband, we went to my son's high school, and they had a Christmas bazaar. And because I am a fan of the holidays, honey, I am a true fan. They had, as soon as you walked in the door, now a high school is huge, and his high school is really, really big. They had the small cafeteria, the large cafeteria, the small gym, the large gym, full of Christmas vendors. I was in Christmas amazement. I don't know. I can't even find a word. When the doors opened, it was like, ah, ah. That's the way I felt when the doors open and all this Christmas stuff is like so much stuff. So many people are so crafty and have so many things to sell and offer to people and to share with people. And I was just in amazement. I will be going back next year. If you are in Louisville, Kentucky area, Butler High School has a Christmas bazaar every year. If you ever have an opportunity, Ballard High School also has one. And Ballard High School's is 2 days. I feel like there was every vendor that could have possibly been in the city was at Butler. So I don't know who was at Ballard's. I can't tell you. They might have had 3 people because every space in that school, everywhere you turn around, had somebody in it. And people were buying and looking and touching. And I am a fan. When I shop, I like to touch and hem haw. It's my favorite thing to do. So if you ever get a chance, go to a Christmas bazaar, guys. Go to one and just check it out if you are a Christmas fan. If you are not a Christmas fan, stay back. It won't make you happy. But if you like to shop, because people had earrings, they had shirts to sell, they had flags to put on your house, they had stuff to put indoors, outdoors. It was so many crafts, so many things to do. It made my heart happy. So I just want to share with you what I did over the weekend. It made my heart happy, still making my heart happy, because I still think about, like, I should have doubled back on some of those tables, but neither here nor there. I'll wait until next year, Lord's willing. I will go back. All right? But the next item up, there's so many things happening in the news. And one of the big things that have happened that I feel like is pretty huge, on the Today Show on yesterday, December the 4th, because today is the 5th. So December the 4th, Liz Cheney, the highest ranking actually female in Congress a couple years ago. And she is writing a book. She was voted out of her position in the 2020 election. A diehard, old-fashioned Republican. She came up in the, I guess, the Clinton era, I believe, in Congress. And she was a true red-blooded Republican. So she also became the co-chair of the January 6th committee as well. As you guys know, she made her mark in Congress, but lost her position for her stance that she took on heading up the January 6th committee, and lost her position in Congress. A couple of people lost their position because they did not tolerate our democracy being taken advantage of during January 6th, and decided to stand up. So Liz Cheney has written a book, and she is doing a press tour, and she is out here stating the facts. 2024, as you guys know, is an election year. November 2024 is an election year, and I am going to encourage you guys now to get out and vote. And if this doesn't encourage you to go out and vote by listening to what Liz Cheney has said, now I'm not saying go and read her book or anything like that, but I'm going to try to get it and read the book. I really, really do. And if I do, I'm going to share it with you guys here on Bedspreads and Pocketbooks. But one of the things that she is telling everybody about is that she will not vote for Trump in 2024. And she does believe he is currently the front runner for the Republican Party. She said that she will not. Now, the lady who was interviewing her from the Today Show asked her several times, so will you vote for Biden? Will you vote for Biden? She said, I will not vote for Donald Trump. So please know, however you want to fold it, wash it out, whatever, he will not, if I have anything to do with it, be in office. And she meant what she said and stood 10 toes down on it and was not folding, was not bending. And she made a point during one of her interviews, because she's done several of them because she's doing a press tour. She said that what we are doing is, I'm gonna look at my notes because I do not want to mess this up. She said we are sleepwalking into a dictatorship with President Trump. She does not believe if he is in office in 2024 that he is going to leave. He tried his best in 2020, but she does not believe that he will leave and that he will be more of a dictator. Even more. He will try his hand even more at a dictatorship if he gets into office. Now, mind you, this is what we have to be aware of. You remember in the 2016 elections where everybody was saying, oh, he's not going to win. He's not, he's too crazy to win, and all the stuff he said and he's done and and all the things. What we have in 2016, what happened, y'all? He won. People was falling on the floor, crying in tears, thinking, oh, that's not going to happen. He's not going to be president. And baby, guess what? He was for 4 years. Didn't want to leave. Honey, had his fingernails gripped in the thresholds of the door. They had to drag him out pretty much to get him out of office, causing insurrection. I can say that. Causing insurrection on January 6th. Encourage folk to go down to the Congress and make it right that he won the election. And if you guys think that this can't happen again, y'all better get out and vote, guys. And I can't say that our Democratic choices are the best. I can't say that. I can't do any of that. But what I can tell you is what's coming down the pike if you don't. What I can tell you is what's coming down the pike if you don't. So I encourage everybody to get out and vote. If we have warnings from a true-blooded Republican, there's several Republicans, older Republicans, not this new age insurrectionist Republicans. I'm talking about those old heads, the Ronald Reagan Republicans, who are speaking out and saying, guys, I don't think he's good for the country. If they're speaking up and showing out, I think somebody needs to start taking heed to what's going on. So I will encourage everybody to take the time out to consider voting in the 2024 elections. Take them seriously. Take your local voting processes seriously. Take your state voting processes seriously, and also take the national elections very seriously. Guys, we have got to take this thing seriously. We've got to encourage folks to get out there and vote and try to make sure that we can swing it not in the way that's going to cut our necks. We want to be able to be okay. We don't want to be under a dictatorship. So I want to encourage you guys to get out there and vote. Listen to some of those videos with Miss Liz Cheney. There's a lot of them on TikTok. If you guys want to just get the snippets, just want to get the nuggets out of it, don't have to listen to everything, but just take heed to what people are saying. Pay attention. I know sometimes it's easier just to act as if, oh, nothing's happening, but sometimes we need to open our eyes and listen up a little bit. And also, I know as Christians like to say, God's going to take care of it, and he will. And I totally believe that he will take care of every situation, but also it gives us an opportunity to know what to pray for as well, what to lay before his feet, to let him know that we're aware of the situation that could be at hand. So I say, take your time out, guys, do your due diligence, vote, pray, and stay encouraged. All right. The next item up is, this is a sad story, but I feel like it's something that we need to make people aware of. And please know, guys, that I'm not just going to try to bring you all sad stories and what y'all doing, but also there's a lot of things that are happening that I feel like nobody knows anything about. And what I'm grateful for is that as I'm going to different places, and people who know me that knows that I'm doing this podcast make comments about things that they said they didn't even know was even happening, that I'm bringing light to situations they didn't even know what that was going on. And I want to continue to do that here on Bedspreads and Pocketbooks. So one of the cases is with Mr. Holman. Mr. Holman, his name is Johnny Holman. He was a deacon at his church. This deacon in Atlanta, Georgia, was tased on August the 10th or August the 11th. He was pulled, he had a traffic accident. I believe it was 2 cars. A traffic accident. They called the police. He called the police. The other driver called the police. And when the police arrived there, they found Mr. Holman at fault for the accident on the scene. And he wanted to write him a citation. And during that citation, Mr. Holman declined to sign, refused to sign, said he was not willing to sign that. He wanted to know, why was he being cited for, and it wasn't his fault, and wanted to explain his part. But the police did not want to hear that. The policeman's name was, last name was Officer Kimbrough. He was not excited about that, did not want to talk any further about it. He wanted to sign the citation so they could go on about their way. And Mr. Holman did not want to do that. He was not excited about that and argued the fact that he didn't want to do it. So because Officer Kimbrough did not want to deal with it anymore, he gave him his final warning. He proceeded to arrest Mr. Holman, and put him on the ground, and there was a tussle. And during the tussle, the Officer Kimbrough pulled out his taser and began to tase Mr. Holman. And Mr. Holman, mind you, is 64 years old. I believe they are saying that he was 64 years old. And that, so as an older gentleman, I believe even at my age, in my 40s, that a tasing is tough. It's tough on the body. It's tough on anybody's body. And this gentleman was tased, supposedly, allegedly, in the arm a couple of times. I watched the body cam video. Doesn't look like he was tased in the arm. Almost looks like he was tased near the head and the neck. But that's all alleged. And from what my eyes saw, it could have been fooling me. It just did not look like it was in the arm. But you guys feel free to take a look at that video. His name is Johnny Holman. He is a deacon. He was tased several times on the ground. After the tussle, the officer was able to put Mr. Holman in handcuffs and then proceeded to lift him up. But Mr. Holman went limp. and died at the scene. He said when the other officers arrived, Mr. Kimbrough said that his breathing was shallow. He did mention during the time he was fighting back with the police, tussling with the police, that he was, because it looked like a tussle, it doesn't seem like a fight. It was just a lot of moving back and forth and him removing his hands so that he could not be handcuffed. But during this time, he kept saying that he could not breathe after being tased. And he said it at least a dozen times. And CNN put out a report about this as well. And they said about over a dozen times that he was tased. He dies at the scene. And the video goes on after they don't call it there. They take him to the hospital and they call it at like 12:57 because he was pulled over at like 11:30 at night. The accident happened around 11:30 at night. The police were called, and at 12:57 he was at the hospital, pronounced dead at the hospital. This family, these daughters and the son of Mr. Holman, are upset. They are calling for an investigation. The coroner has said that there was a homicide that was committed by the taser, due to the taser being used on Mr. Holman. And that the family is upset. They are angry. The officer, Kimbrough, was fired. He was fired by the police department. They said that the reason him being fired was that they arrested Mr. Kimbrough without calling the supervisor to the scene before he tried to arrest Mr. Holman. And they said they fired him due to that. But I believe that he was fired because of how he mishandled, allegedly, Mr. Holman. So we're going to keep our eyes on this, folks. Daily, there are people out there in Atlanta protesting that the investigation is taken further, that Mr. Kimbrough, Officer Kimbrough, is prosecuted to the fullest extent for the death of Mr. Holman. So we want to keep our prayers out for this family who is also mourning the loss of their father, but also trying to get justice for him as well. So here at Bedspreads and Pocketbooks, we will be following up. We will be listening for all the information that comes out about this, and I will report back to you guys soon if I hear anything else that unfolds or anything that comes out for this. But let's keep our eyes and our ears open about this case. His name is Mr. Johnny Holman. He is listed, a lot of stories have listed him as the deacon that was tasered during a traffic accident. So if you want to look that up, if you can't remember his name, Johnny Holman, and also try to remember his name, because say his name to keep it alive, keep that story alive, so that the family can receive justice that they deserve. The next thing that comes up, this goes along with the tasering in Pikeville County in Alabama. I can't tell you what city, but it was listed as Pikeville County. There was a gentleman who was arrested by a female officer, and she tased the gentleman several times, brought him to, so much so, to tears. And she called him a punk B-word as she was tasing him. And this was all on recording. It was recorded, and this officer, I believe, is currently suspended. So we're going to keep our eyes on that case as well, guys. There's some injustices happening as usual, and per usual, that we want to keep our eyes and ears open, and we want you guys to know about them. So here at the Bedspreads and Pocketbooks, I will keep my eyes and my ears open, and if I hear anything else or updates on these stories, I will pass them along. On a happier note, in our segment that's called What Y'all Doing? What Y'all Doing? Nelly and Ashanti, honey, are having a baby. And I believe they announced it this weekend at the Black and White Ball. I'm not for sure what city this take place in, but they were playing little songs, Ashanti's Baby, 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 and a couple of other songs that they played while they were up on stage, and she was holding her tummy and he was rubbing. So maybe they are expecting a child. I'm going to say allegedly right now that they are expecting a child. There's a couple of sources that came out and said that they are expecting. Ashanti is at the age of 43 and is having her first baby. So I'm praying for safety and care of a healthy baby, of course, if this is all coming out to be true. So blessings to them on their new journey and their exciting new take. They've just gotten back together. So uh, blessings to you guys on your new journey. All right. So, all right, that's it for what y'all doing on this segment. Our next segment is not to get in your business, but what's your holiday traditions? What is your holiday tradition? Since this is my favorite time of the year, I want to know what you guys love to do. What do you guys do every year with your family that just helps bring in the holiday season? One of the things that we like to do, my husband and our kids like to do, we like to go look for our family Christmas ornament. Our family Christmas ornament can be us with our names on it. If we go out of town, we'll try to find a little Christmas store. Gatlinburg, we've gotten several from. There's stores here locally that we go to. The Christmas bazaar that I went to, I was able to get the little Grinch hand holding the Christmas ball, and we got our family name on it. We like to get those things done. Another family event that we like to do is on Christmas Eve, we read the birth of our Lord and Savior. It keeps the main thing. And it makes me happy. It makes me excited. My boys like to hear about it. We talk about it more in depth, I feel like, each year. We've been doing this since they were little bitty children. So we love to take the time out to either read from the book of Luke or the book of Matthew and go through the encounters, both their accounts of the birth of our Lord and Savior. So I love to do those things. So what are your Christmas traditions? I want you guys to take the time out to share with me. Put them in the comments below, or I don't know, wherever I post information at about this podcast, post it in there. Let me know what you guys enjoy doing. What are your holiday traditions? I would love to hear about them. All right. The next segment coming up is wifey thoughts. And this one is kind of funny, guys. This is something that me and my husband do constantly. Now, mind you, me and my husband are not the storybook couple. We are not the I don't know, the picture couple or whatnot. But we've been together a long time, and we do what works for one another. And one of the things we enjoy doing is holding hands. We hold hands watching TV. We hold hands laying down going to sleep. We hold hands quite a bit. And I know what y'all think is funny. Y'all think, like, y'all ain't no teenagers. Why are y'all sitting up here holding hands? Well, we enjoy holding each other's hands. I can hold his hand even if I'm mad at him. I can hold his hand. We enjoy holding hands. And I tease him. I'm like, here, let me hold your hand. And he's sitting there. He's like, here. Even if he's mad, he's willing to give me his hand. Because he knows it brings us comfort. It brings both of us comfort. And how much so I know it brings us comfort is that we doze off holding hands. We we do it quite a bit. Because sometimes I don't want to hold his hand, especially during a movie, because I know I'm going to go to sleep. I don't know if it slows my heart rate down or it just puts me in that good comatose state where I want to go right to sleep. I don't know what that is, but honey, if Mr. Ellington wants to go to sleep, he will grab my hand, honey, and go night-night. We go right to sleep. So, and we've been doing challenges quite a bit, I feel like, within this wifey segment. So I want to challenge you guys to hold your spouse's hand. I do. I want to, and I understand if there's folks who really don't enjoy being touched. I do. I understand it. There's times where you don't want to be touched and times that you do want to be touched, when you want to be bothered, when you don't want to be bothered. So I'm going to challenge you guys to hold your mate's hand. Hold your mate's hand at random times. When you're walking in the mall, definitely hold their hand. If you're going into the store, hold their hand. Now, I'm not saying do it when you got a million things in your hand, but when you got your hands are free, whatever, hold their hand. If you're watching a movie, reach over and just grab your spouse's hand and just sit there for a minute and see if it doesn't slow you down or give you a sense of rest or peace. It may not happen the way that it happens for us where we can doze off holding hands, but it might, you never know. We out here trying all the things we can try, honey. We out here in survival mode. Marriages can be tough. They can be hard. But also, it's good for the heart. Also to know I'm here. I'm still here with you. We're holding hands. We're here. We're together. So if you get that opportunity, if you're in the kitchen and y'all just sitting there talking, grab the hand. I just want to hold it for a minute. I just want to hold your hand. Now, if you see that your spouse is agitated, please don't go up holding their hand. Because that just makes them even more, no, don't touch me right there. I don't want you touching me or whatever. But do it at a time where it's just like, we both good. Let me have your hand for a minute. Just want to hold your hand. So I challenge you to try to find a time, sometime throughout the day, every day, until the end of December. I'm going to challenge you to the end of December, December the 31st. I'm going to challenge you to hold your spouse's hand. Take the time out to hold their hand. If you got a significant other, take the time out to hold their hand and just see how they're feeling. There ain't no study behind it, what I'm doing. I noticed that it works for us. So I just want to put it out there to you guys. There's no studying behind it. There's no nothing behind it. I can't do anything to back it up. But what I can do is tell you what works for us. And it feels good. And I don't know, it just says that you're here. I got you. You got me, I got you. And sometimes it'll make you fall asleep too. If you have trouble going to sleep, hold your spouse's hand. Don't make it uncomfortable or whatever, but just hold it. Hold the hand for a little bit. I bet you'll doze off because you both get on that same breathing rhythm, and you both doze off. So I just want to encourage you to hold your spouse's hand. All right. That's all I got for Wifey's Thoughts on today. But the next segment coming up, you guys know it's my favorite. It's Free to Sunshine, Free to Sunshine, Free to Sunshine, Free to Sunshine. And one of my favorite scriptures, and we've said this before here on Bedspreads and Pocketbooks, it is 1 Peter 5:7, and it says, cast all of your cares. Or, I don't know if it's King James Version that says, cast all your anxieties upon him because he cares for you. Cast all of your cares, not some of them, but all your cares upon him. And yes, if I have said this before in a previous podcast, it deserves being said again. Why is that? Because every day we are faced with different things that can cause us anxiety, can cause us worry, can cause us heartache, can cause us pain. And we need to be able to lay those at the feet of Jesus. Lay them at the altar and give it to him. The Christmas season is coming up, and people try to stretch as much as they can to give out gifts and to find that extra money and to do all those things. But I want to encourage you to cast all of your cares upon him, because he cares for you. There's a children's choir song that says, I will cast all my cares upon you. I will lay all of my burdens down at your feet. And anytime, it doesn't say some of the time, anytime I don't know what to do, I will cast all of my cares upon you. That song speaks to my heart still today. We sung that in the children's choir when I was coming up. So I can only imagine what it means as a child, what that meant to me as it does now. It means so much more, that I can just lay my burdens down at his feet and I don't have to pick them up, because he cares about us. He wants to carry the weight. He doesn't want us carrying it. He doesn't want us worried about what we want to do for Christmas and how we're going to do it, or the Christmas ham or whatever else. He doesn't care about all that. He doesn't want you caring about all that. Lay it at his feet and see if he doesn't take care of it for you. And if he doesn't take care of it for you, he's going to give you peace about it. He's going to lay all of it at his feet. He cares for you. He wants the best for you. Lay it at his feet, guys. Give it over to him. Pray and give it over to him, and don't pick it back up. I know it's easier said than done, but as you find yourself picking it back up and say, Lord, I'm going to lay it back here with you because I can't do nothing about it. So many things we can't do nothing about. We got to give it to him. He wants us to give it to him. So give it to him. Give the holidays to him. Give that seasonal depression over to God. He cares for you. He wants you to have a peaceful mind, a peaceful heart. Give it over to him. So, all right, guys, that's the end of Bedspreads and Pocketbooks for this week. Be sure to join me next week. Thank you for coming and joining me. I am so grateful. Thank you, guys.